Hey Sugar Gliders, we are on lesson 3, rates. Before I get into this lesson, I want you to think about something. Think about when you exercise, your heart rate goes up, okay? That's a rate. If you were exercising in 1 minute, your heart rate might get up to 180 beats per minute. That's pretty high. Typically, it's about 60 or 70 beats per minute, and that's not too bad. So think about that as a rate. Another way of looking at rates is when your parents are driving, they may check how many miles they're able to drive to the gallon. That's a rate as well, miles per gallon. So you know a little bit about rates. So let's look at the definition. A rate is a ratio. Okay, we already know about ratios, so fill that in. A rate is a ratio comparing two quantities with different kinds of units. Okay, a unit rate has a denominator of 1 when the rate is written as a fraction. Oops, FR, sorry about that. So let me just give you a quick example before I head down into the notes. Rate, heartbeats per minute. Heartbeats, abbreviated here, per minute. I might, let's say I might do 60 heartbeats in 1 minute. Because that bottom number is a 1, that's a unit rate, okay? So let's look at Desiree here. Desiree typed 15 character text message in 5 seconds. Write the rate Desiree typed as a fraction. So we're comparing characters she typed to seconds. Characters goes first, 15 to 5. 15 characters in 5 seconds. That's a ratio, okay? What operation would you use to write the fraction in simplest form? Oh, we've done this a lot. You guys are good at this. You would divide. So how do I put 15 to 5 in simplest form? What's the one number I would divide both 15 and 5 by? Yep, I'd divide them both by 5. Okay, and then I would get 3 to 1. Is that a unit rate? Yes, that's a unit rate because 1 is in the denominator. So let's look at our chart here. What's the difference between a ratio, a rate, and a unit rate? Well, we know a ratio is a comparison of two different quantities by division. So what are we comparing here in our ratio? 15 to 5, okay, in the problem above, is a rate. Just include the words 15 characters in 5 seconds. And a unit rate, again, always remember unit always means 1. So we have to have that denominator of 1. So my unit rate would be 3 to 1. 3 characters are typed in 1 minute. Okay, let's look at some practice problems here. Samantha picked, it's messy here. Samantha picked 45 oranges in 5 minutes. Write this rate as a unit rate. So there's some directions down here for you. Write the rate as a fraction and then divide the numerator and denominator by the same number. So here's your directions. So I've written it for a fraction as a fraction for you. 45 oranges, 5 minutes. Notice I always label things. That always helps me keep everything in order so I don't mix up those numbers. What can I divide both 5 and 45 by? And remember, I want my denominator to be 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and 45 divided by 5 is 9. So she can pick 9 oranges in 1 minute. That's the unit rate. Okay, let me do number 2 with you. An adult's heart beats about 2,100 times every 30 minutes. All right, what two things are being compared? Heartbeats to minutes. The question is, how many times does the adult's heart beat in 1 minute? So I'm going to start with my rate and turn it into a unit rate by simplifying. So I'm comparing heartbeats. I'm just going to abbreviate here. Heartbeats to minutes. And I know the adult heart rate is 2,100 beats in 30 minutes. All right, remember units. I have to divide my denominator so that it turns into 1. And the only way to do that is to divide it by itself. 30 divided by 30 is 1. Do the same thing up here. Here's a shortcut. Lop off a 0, lop off a 0. That's just like dividing by 10. So now you can think about basic facts. How many times does 3 go into 21? 3 goes into 21 7 times, and there's 1 0. So I'm going to add the 0. So my answer is an adult's heartbeat will beat 70 times in 1 minute, and that's pretty average. I'm going to let you do number 3 on your own. You guys come in tomorrow morning, and we'll see how you did. And also, there's a little 2-question quiz if you would like to take it just to practice. It's not required, but go ahead, look on Edmodo. Try that, and have a great night. See you in the morning.